Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Judith Leonard. I film from Port Harcourt, Nigeria. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, oh, this big hug is for you. Thank you for always stopping by. So guys, I did tell you the last time that we've hit 100 and something, 100 plus subscribers. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the love. I really appreciate. So in today's video, I want to talk about my infertility journey, what I went through. If you're not a TTC that's trying to conceive and you're watching this video, please, I know you will learn a thing or two from this video. And if you're a TTC, please keep watching. Towards the end of the video, I will tell you guys what I did. It was very ridiculous. It was something anybody could have frowned at, but I did it and it worked for me. So keep watching. Okay, without wasting your time, I want to tell you what I did and how I went through infertility and all of that. Besides, before we go ahead, I have it all written down here so I don't leave out any point. Yes, so the first thing I want to talk about is like a disclaimer. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm just sharing my experiences with you, and I believe that definitely you will learn something. So keep watching. If you are having any fertility issue, it's advisable that you go and get a doctor. Yes, a fertility doctor at that. So it will go a long way to help you. My experience here is just to tell you that you're not alone, and there's some things you can do, you know, to support whatever advice you must have gotten from your doctor. You know, after wedding and all of that, I took him, and funny enough, I got to 9 months before I lost that child. Yes, I got to, it was the 9th month that I lost that baby. Now I think in a separate video, I'm going to tell you guys the role I played. You know, people don't like taking blames, but I know I blame myself for what happened, you know, to that child, why I lost that baby. I also blame the hospital. I will tell you what I did, because at that point, I know nothing about, you know, healthy lifestyle, not stressing. You know, I felt if you are strong, we are strong. People are doing it, people are jumping all the way with pregnancy, and I'm healthy, I can. So I will tell you in a separate video what I did and what happened to that my child. But in this one, I want to tell you what happened after that first pregnancy. So trying for conception, after I lost that child, my people, I thought it was going to be a story of, you know, now go back to the factory. I mean, go back to the lab. Yes, go back to the laboratory, do one or two things, and it starts happening. It wasn't so. I just hope this video will be long, because I'm a storyteller. That's the truth. So I went back to the factory or the laboratory to start construction and manufacturing all over again. Lo and behold, it took me time. I was not like, what happened? Was it not me that just got pregnant some months ago? Like, what happened that I can't conceive? It was so mind bad. Like, guys, you won't believe that it took me almost how many hours to wait for NEPA to bring the lights. They brought it, I was filming, they took the light. Now the generator is on, they brought back the lights. So guys, don't mind our Nigerians. So we started trying for conception, like joke, like yoke. We started trying for conception. Now if you're a young girl here and, you know, doing sexual intercourse, it's all for, we are doing harder and all of that. When you are looking for a child, when you are, you know, having sex for the right reason, to conceive, harder, it won't apply. I'm telling you the truth. Like, you know, that fun, the sweetness of sex and all that, no, it became business. You know that having sex is business, like, yeah, real business. So every time I feel very bad, like when I lost that child, my mom asked me to remove all the baby things in the room. Especially in Nigeria, that's what we do. They tell you to, you know, discard or keep off all those things. But I said no, I wasn't going to give away my things because I wasn't conceiving or it's delaying. Though I was crying from time to time, at the particular spot I kept those baby things I bought because I was due. I was always going there to speak. Like, I kept asking God, what happened? I already bought things. I was talking to my baby, like, I was waiting for you. How come you came and you left? You know, I was doing all that. So my mom asked me to remove all this, but I didn't remove them. I was going there with faith, and I was speaking over those things, that my baby will use them. Nothing will stop me from conceiving. Now, I want to tell you what happened during the waiting process. I started praying. I was going to different fellowship. If you tell me it's happening here, I went to church and pastor prayed for me, I got pregnant. I don't follow you to that church. Because it was not like someone was after me, or because I could not explain that I was pregnant and I could not conceive again all of a sudden. Like, I was mad. I said no, but my mind was that maybe somebody said I will not have a child then, you know. I was doing everything. Now, I will tell you, the devil will play a very big role. I will go, there's something called follicular tracking. Yes, we'll do it in the hospital. Every month you rush down to the hospital to know the right time to, you know, hit and all that. Maybe after you must have gone to pay that money to know when you're supposed to strike, you know, to have a baby. I don't want to, you know, say all of that. When you're supposed to do that, that's when you start quarreling with your husband. That's when he will start, I don't want to say misbehaving. That's when you will start having unnecessary issues. But at some point, it happened some months, you know, maybe the second day, he will say, I beg, it's okay. I said, okay, devil, that's how you want to, that's the role you want to play in this whole thing. I said, no lie. I turned out to be a sweet wife. Once it's that period, I heard banana was also a good fruit to use at the time. I'll buy banana, I'll make banana puree, sorry, not puree, I'll do banana, what's it called? Banana smoothie for him and all of that, so that he could be eating and be happy. Then I will be a good wife, cook nice meal without him knowing that I've gone for that thing. That's the follicular tracking. Then by the time I'll come back, I'll put him into, we'll do the thing, do. The result will come out zero. Hey. We are doing, once it is that time of the month, we'll just be having sex back to back, and it wasn't like the way you used to enjoy sex anymore. We're not doing it as if it was business. My husband was not finding it funny, because for him, he felt nothing was wrong. But me, I felt something was wrong. Yes, something was wrong. How come I couldn't conceive after I just had I lost a child? Yes, I was pregnant. I carried to 9 months. What happened that I wasn't conceiving again? So I started trying. I was worried. Now it got to a point. I was supposed to do HSG, what is it called? They were supposed to do a test called HSG on me, and it was a bit expensive, and I had not even the money this time. It was even that part where they said it's very painful, where they will use a certain, you know, instrument, you know, to put inside your vagina to check what is happening in your womb and all of that. My friend told me it was very, very painful. So I was not even ready for that. I will tell you what happened about that HSG. But before the HSG, yes, before the HSG, I was already going from hospital to hospital, checking myself, and everybody was confirming that I was okay. At that time, I didn't bother taking my husband along, because it was okay that he was fine. So something must have gone wrong, and I felt it was via me. So I was the one moving from one place to the other. The guy would give me the money and he would tell me, you're just bothering yourself. Yes, I was bothered, because the people I went for antenatal with during the time I was pregnant for the baby I lost, I was going for their baby. I went for their baby dedication. After a year, they called me to come for their children's birthdays, and all those things were making me feel bad. And they were my friends on social media. I see them post their children, so I was worried. I was crying. Now, fake pregnancy signs were coming left, right, and center. You know, after you must have finished during the month, and you maybe during the next month when you're supposed to see your period, this anxiety will come in. I'll say, it's like it's coming. This food, it's like I want to throw it up, like pregnancy. Then when some days I wake up, I say, maybe it's the pregnancy. Let me manage myself. I won't go out today, or maybe it's the pregnancy is trying to sit very well. My head was telling me all sorts of things. Was it only that one? What about after having sex? Like after having sex, trying for a baby, my mind will tell me, please don't shake yourself too much before the sperm will leak out. So after once I say get up, I say no, I'm not getting up. I will stay here for like 1 hour so that the sperm will go around and connect very well. And very funny, right? Yeah, those are funny things you do when you're a TTC. Now, another one I did was eating very healthy meals. I was working out. You see me trying to work out. You see me, I was fit. That was when I opened Diet Empire. If you're not following Diet Empire, I have a story about Diet Empire. I will tell that story one day. That was how I started Diet Empire. Because I realized that what happened to me that made me lost that child, I did not know about it prior to that time. And secondly, I realized that so many unhealthy things I did. You know, when you're pregnant, people tell you you're eating, or you tell yourself you're eating for 4, or you're eating for 10, or you're eating for 2. That does not apply for you to have a safe and a healthy pregnancy. The next person could be doing it and it's working well for the person, but it might not work for you. So that was what gave birth to Diet Empire. I started training women. I became a weight loss coach. I did a course online with a school in Dublin, and that was how I started training people on weight loss and being the best version of themselves via healthy living. So that was how Diet Empire came about. So I started eating healthy. No, I didn't leave prayers out of it. The spiritual part, yes, I didn't leave prayer out of it. I was not praying. I used no, before I get to the prayer part, the IVF, I know you want to hear this. I told my husband that since we're doing all of this and it doesn't seem to be clicking, let's try IVF. Because I have one of my sisters in Port Harcourt here. She was working with a fertility clinic and they were doing IVF for people. At the time, it was about 1.52 million. So I told my husband, please, I'm ready to go all out. Let's do this fertility thing. We could try IVF. My husband said, like, say no day. So I said, let's do it. How much is this? Let's do it. My husband said he will not even try it. I tried convincing my husband. I tried telling my husband, let's do it. Till I now invited my sister over to, talk about it. She now told me that it could fail. A number of times they have failures, like they do it once. So I said, oh, by the time I will do 1.52 million, how many times? So that was what discouraged me from going ahead with that IVF. I thought it was something we could do, being that I was okay. I had a baby sometime, that everything would just, she said, no, that it doesn't work that way. So that was how I didn't talk about the IVF again. Then I want to talk about the prayer aspect. Hey, you will turn to a prayer warrior. You will be praying left, right, and center. Morning you're praying, afternoon you're praying, and all of that. No, but I didn't mention that when I was still doing those medical checkups, if I go to any clinic or, to check what was happening, because I decided to try different clinics. And when I go and doctor say, open your leg, before when they say open your leg, you open it small like you're shy. Before I did that, Nami go first of all remove the pants. Whoa, open my leg. Wow. Doctor, when he's checking, Nami go open and I will open the leg so wide so that in case if anything is hidden, I want him to find out everything. So when he say open, my dear, I'll open the leg very wide so that they will see. So I went to different places. I spent money not knowing that what was wrong with me was nothing. And when I go to those clinics, they used to tell me it's nothing, you are okay, you're fine, everything is. Then what was the problem? My sister, I told myself it could be spiritual. If they were not seeing anything. I told that angle of people are against me. Maybe they don't want me to have a child. So I started the spiritual aspect. I'll go to church, I'll pray, I was fasting, my mother was praying, we're doing all of that. But what helped me really was a book by Jackie Mines. If you're a TTC and you don't know about Jackie Mines, the book, you've not started now. You need to get a copy of Jackie Mines. It will help build you all through the process. It will really help you stay strong. Like you will not lose it trying to conceive, or you won't get depressed because you've not had a child. Get a copy of Jackie Mines. I'm going to put it up here so that you can look for it. Go to any spiritual bookshop, they sell it, or you could read it up online. Like I have the tape. That time as I'm driving, I'll be listening to the message. I will read it when I get to the house. I was making those confessions, and it's also helped. I remember what I did before the last period ceased. I'll get to that. Boku no rush. So I was using Jackie. I was making daily confessions. You see prayers there. Even if sometimes, if you start praying on your own, you lack words to even use for the prayer. Sometimes in the place of prayer, you want to pray and you start crying. But with Jackie, you see prayers. So you are following the prayers, you are doing the things, you are reading the people's testimonies, and you see that it works. So I was doing that. I was trying every month, negative result. If you're a TTC here, I want to say just keep trying. Some months you give up trying. You don't even want to try. Some months you just tell yourself, I'm not trying again, enough is enough, but you see yourself trying. So that book, Jackie Miles, will help you a lot to really know what to do. So one day, my last period before I conceived for my child, my rainbow child, really, the period wanted to come out. I held my stomach. I told my period, if you come out, let me know that I don't serve a living God. I held my stomach. I said, God, I asked God, come. He said, come, let us reason together. And I also said, like, sit down, let's reason together, God. I kept a seat, I kept another seat, an imaginary, it was an imaginary thing, but I kept a physical chair. And I said, God, sit down, let's talk. He said, come, let's reason together. I'm here to ask you some questions. What did I do wrong? What would you want the devil to share in this testimony you've given me? Yes, I had a child. I don't know what happened. They said you're not the one that took it away. Now, who took that child? What happened to that child? I don't know. So now, I'm trying to conceive. I can't conceive. What has gone wrong? Who is the one? Who is, orchestrating this? I was crying. I was talking to God. I said, tell me. You see, this period, I don't want to see it. I curse you this period. Don't come out. Don't come out. I don't need you. Then, prior to when this one happened, why I said I want to take this story bit by bit. I had a friend that, has a wife that is a nurse. And I told her that, look at what happened to me. I'm still trying and all of that. She told me, okay, have you tried taking? I said, yes, I've been taking medications, I've been taking drugs, I've been swallowing folic acid. You know how they say take folic acid? I was taking all of that. I was taking pregnant care and all of that. Pregnant care only helps to prepare your system to get pregnant, but it doesn't make you get pregnant if there's an issue. So I told her all of that. She said, okay, did you try pressing your breast to know if breast milk is still coming out? I said, okay, I was going to try that. I got home, I squeezed my breast and breast milk wasn't coming out. So I got back to her. I told her breast milk wasn't coming out. Now, down to what the ridiculous thing I did that made me to become pregnant. Keep watching. One of the days, she came to my office and I told her, we'll try talking. She asked me, have you pressed the breast? I said, I've done that. Nothing came out. I said, have you been taking hormonal? I said, I've been taking hormonal. I've done hormonal, tests to know if I had hormonal imbalance, which could also prevent pregnancy. I've done all that. I'm taking medication and all whatnot. She now said, okay, now what else is left? I said, I don't know. You know me, I can be very funny and I'm a very practical person. I know they agree. I now told her, please come inside the inner part of my office. Come and press my breast by yourself. Maybe your hand will help to see if there is leakage, if the breast milk is still leaking. She now laughed. I literally dragged her inside. I closed one part of my office. She came inside. Immediately she pressed my breast. Oh, see water, see the fluid. The fluid came out like this. She said, but you said liquid wasn't coming out. I said, but I thought I did it and I did not see anything. She pressed the other one. Breast milk was still rushing. She now told me that I should take a particular drug. I wouldn't want to mention it here so that you don't go ahead and take it. Maybe you have issues. If you know you want me to tell you the drug I took, a very tiny drug I took, leave a message for me in the description box. I will comment or I will get back to you directly. Yes, I will do that. So she told me that I should go and take that drug. The same minute I sent my office assistant to go and buy the drug, my office assistant went and bought that drug and came back. I took it immediately. The drug made me to feel a bit dizzy. Usually it's best taken at night. So I took the drug. She also warned me, but I was eager. I wanted that one too. I didn't know that was going to work. I just wanted that part of the breast milk still coming out to stop. So I took the drug and Immediately I took the drug, I started feeling that way, and I go home. I told my husband that I bought that drug. No, but did I even mention that one of the days I took Clomid? One of the days I went to my friend's office, I was also crying, telling her that I'd done everything. Her boss came into the office and saw me crying. They all knew about how I lost my child, and he asked me what I'd done at the time. I told him I'd done this test, I've done this, I've done that. He said, okay, there was a drug the wife was taking when they had similar issue, that this, that. He now said, okay, let him call the wife. He called the wife said it's Clomid. Immediately he sent somebody to a nearby pharmacy to buy me Clomid. That night I took Clomid, I drank 2 packs of Clomid, nothing was happening. That was how Clomid came into the picture. So Clomid did not also work for me. So I took this drug this lady asked me to take, and the breast milk stopped. The breast wasn't leaking anymore. Like, I noticed that the breast milk dried up. And that same month, that immediately I took it and tried for conception that month. That was also when my period wanted to come out. I was already feeling that wetness. I woke up in the morning, the same date, I was feeling the wetness in my vagina, like blood has started coming out, and it was that particular day. I stood and I prayed. I kept God, I kept myself. I remember when his friend told me a story of when the husband had an issue. He was a worker in church. He reminded God of what's his name, Hezekiah, how Hezekiah worked for him in the church, and when it was time for God sent a prophet to come and tell Hezekiah that he was going to die, and Hezekiah went, faced the wall and told God, it is not time for me to die. Like, I've worked for you in your vineyard, I clean the church, I do this, so I cannot die. God heard that prayer and gave him more years. So I now remember that story. I kept God down. I said, I work for you in the church, I go for evangelism, I belong to a group in church, I contribute, I pay tithe, in as much as I'm not regular in tithing, but I sow seeds and all of that. God, I need this child. You said, let us reason together. Let us reason together. I was crying, and I had my stomach. I knelt down on my altar in my house, not like a physical altar with drama. No, a center of worship in my house. I knelt down there. I cursed that period. Even as I was cursing the period, I was feeling wetness, like I was already soaked. I said, it's a lie. I will not check this. I will not also go to the toilet I will not also put pad. I am going out this moment. I'm not going to put pad. I'm not going to put anything, and I know that this period will not come out. This period, I curse you. I pray that you seize this moment. God, I'm reasoning with you. I am serving you. Nothing will happen. I was just talking. I went to shower. I did not see blood. I said, what happened? Okay, it's still planning to come. Maybe those first feelings before period will come and all that. I went out without putting pad. I'm not gonna lie to you, I had pad in my back. But the faith was even that I left the house without putting anyone. So when I now went out, everywhere I went to, it's like it has stained my jean or it has stained my clothes. When people say, hey, I say, oh, it has stained. But even at that, I told myself, I am not going to put back. This period will not come. This period you seize in the name of Jesus. I curse you this period. Don't come out. I don't want you. I don't want you. I want my... So I was doing all of that the whole of that day. My period didn't come out. Then menstrual cramps started setting. It was now worrying me. I would say, oh, maybe it delayed by one day. The next day it was going to come. Even at that night, I was praying, I was confessing, I was using Jackie Mai's book to pray. This period will not come. I was praying that I'm not under the curse of the law anymore. I don't even feel remember all the prayers I prayed, but I was sharp praying. Remember the 2 things I did differently: going to check that breast milk and taking that drug to stop the breast milk. I will also tell you why I knew that the drug and the breast milk was a hindrance. When I wanted to have my second child after the first one, I noticed that I was not also conceiving. You see, I was not conceiving. I had stopped breastfeeding for like 2 years, but I was not conceiving. Do you know what I did? I pressed the breast again. I saw that milk was still there. I took the same drug, the same month I conceived. So I am not removing the God factor. The God factor played a major role, because the way I was with God made me to become who I am today, that I cannot also do anything without God. So I after that very day that the second day, the period didn't come out. That was when I was now relaxed. I said, oh God, this is you. So I've been spending money unnecessarily, going from one place to the other, doing tests. And if you know the truth, if you start conceiving if you're a TTC and you're looking for a way to conceive, it's very expensive. It's not like you just sit down and wait. All the tests you're going to be doing, most of them are from 5,000 and above. Some are even 30, some are 20. That's different procedures that people go through to conceive, and at the end of the day, it doesn't work. So look at the ridiculous thing I did. I never knew it was a drug of how much that could help me solve that problem instead of going from one hospital to the other. So God has a way. I will tell you, God played a major role. What if I didn't complain to the lady, and what if the lady didn't come to my office that day, or what if I didn't even know and I kept on going? Okay, I will tell you what happened. The day I was supposed to do my HSG procedure, I went to the hospital, but unfortunately I was on my period. I didn't know how it works. When I got to the hospital to do that procedure, the doctor asked me, I told the doctor that I was seeing my period, I was about, but I don't know what happened. He said no, it wasn't the right time, I should go and come back. I went home. On my way home, I went to the church. The money to do HSG was big at that time. Even till now, I know it's expensive. I enveloped that money. I took it to church. I put it in, we're building our cathedral, and in the church, I put it inside the cathedral offering box. I told God that this money I was supposed to use to do this expensive and painful, very painful test, I will put it to the building of the church. I'm a Christian, so if you're not a Christian, or if you belong to another religion, find out what works for you. I told God that I'm going to pay this money into this cathedral project. So go ahead and clear whatsoever. I am not going to do that test. I'm not going to do that test. So go ahead and clear whatever, because I'm going to contribute to the building of your church. So it wasn't even one thing I did, but I know God was the major factor than the drug I took. So it's not as if God will not come out and say, okay, because you paid this money, oh yeah, you are pregnant. No, he brought a human agent, a human vessel that helped me to find out what was wrong with me. Trust me, I had shared this with some persons that are TTC, and they tried it and it works. And it worked. A lot of us didn't know that when we stopped breastfeeding for years, 5 years, 6 years, you wouldn't know that the breast milk. I had a friend that the breast milk was, till now, her breast milk has been running inside. And when she goes to the clinic, they tell her that it's running inside, it's no longer physical. So she's been taking drugs and all that, and she has not been able to conceive. So I shared with some persons, and it worked for them. So this is my own story. I will do a second part to this video. What happened to that my child, the mistakes I made, and what the hospital did not do well that made me to lose that baby. So I know you must have learned something from this video. I want you to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to, hear and, get this kind of valid information. These are what I share on my channel, are my everyday experiences, what I experienced in the course of life, and I believe that it will help one or two persons. So it has helped my friends in the past to conceive, and I know that it will also help you. Try and see a fertility doctor, do the procedures, the ones you can do. Get that book by Jackie Miles, See a Fertility Doctor. I'll keep saying it. Make sure you take your drugs. I wasn't taking drugs before. I don't take drugs. I could be sick. Once I take that first, the second day I will dump it. But when this issue started, I was swallowing drugs. Like, if you give me drugs at the hospital for fertility, I will, in fact, if you tell me to even treat it, I will treat just to conceive. So I want to say thank you for staying till this point. Subscribe, please follow me. I have a lot to give. And make sure you watch my videos. Thank you so much. I will see you in my next video. Thank you. I appreciate. Bye.